Oh my god. A minute is missing from this. Whoa. Release the demented ghastly files. Whoa. Anyway. Hello everyone, it's me, Demented Ghastly here. Please release those files, good lord. Anyway, so I spent longer than 8 hours working on a Teledrome Presents Ridonculous Race 2. And yes, I do mean that, longer than 8 hours. Many hours. I have worked very hard on this, so please watch this video. And please support it. Thank you guys for supporting me throughout the year. I want to remind you that the Ridonculous Race is my worst season when it comes to making videos about and knowing characters. I made these teams and I hope you enjoy them. The tier list is going to be down below in the description. If you decide to make your own, or you decide to do something with the audio in this video or something like that, art, I don't know, review, just make sure to add me and I'll check it out, alright? Anyway, now that we're done with that, meet the teams. We have Dakota, Zoid, and Ezekiel, the monsters. Alejandro and Justin, the hotties. Katie and Sadie, the BFFFLs. Wayne and Bowie, the BFs, best friend or boyfriend. Sammy and Jasmine, the explorers. Joe and Brick, the tryhards. Shock and Jose, the ice dancers. Emma and Noah, the new couple. Duncan and Courtney, the exes. Heather and Gwen, the mortal enemies. Sean and Axel, the zombie slayers. Zoe and Mike, the lovebirds. Bea and Dawn, the outcasts. Harold and Lashana, the just friends. DJ and Z, the polar opposites. Priya and Millie, the fierce females. Damien and Scary Girl, the screamers. Tyler and Eva, the jocks. Amy and Beardo, the fan-hateds. Dave and Cody, the simps. Owen and Jeff, the party guys. Scott and Lindsay, the randos. Topher and Blanley, the stars. Julia and MK, the villains. So essentially what you need to know about this season is that I will display who won the challenge by coming in first and who was eliminated from the challenge. I will also describe what exactly happened during the challenge. This way, you know the name, you know what happened during the challenge, so if you want to make your own, then you can also use this video as a guide for what to do. Keep in mind, I pretty much wrote all this. I used a tiny bit of ChatGPT to help me with some of the stuff here. But that was kind of minimal. Overall, I'm pretty proud of this. I also named all these different things every episode. And yeah, overall, we will end this video by me going over the arcs and essentially the character dynamics at the end. So for Welcome to the Real World Part 1, we start in Canada at the Cartoon Network Tower, same as the first season, climbing the 144 stairs, or you can use the elevator. If you use the elevator, they have an extra scare challenge with the skywalk around the tower. There's no elimination. Owen, and I want to state this beforehand, Owen does the stairs to try and avoid Noah so he can be around his girlfriend, but watches as much as he can. I want to get started by saying exactly what Owen and Noah's thing is, or not Owen and Noah's, but Owen and Jeff. Owen came in just to keep an eye on Noah and Emma and kind of see that everything goes well for them, and Jeff was the only one who returned the invitation to join this with him because Owen was having a little bit of trouble finding a person. So he got Jeff in. Also, let me move my head around. But I mean, you'll be able to see these graphics at the end when you go to the tier list. Check it out. Yay! Sorry, my big head is in the way. Okay. You know, it feels so invigorating doing this in the middle of the day. Last night, I was just so out of it, and I'm not gonna even get into it. That was horrible. Anyway, Episode 2, in Norman, Oklahoma. A friend of mine, I reached out and asked him, like, what's some lesser known grazed places in the world, and he said Tokyo, Japan, or not like lesser known, but more like kind of underrated. And then he said Norman, Oklahoma. And I'm like, what the frick? What is even in Norman, Oklahoma? I looked it up, and there's the Oklahoma Sooners program. There's some good museums, stuff like that. So we're going to have all contestants have to participate in the Oklahoma Sooners program and go through rigorous training, then race to the chill zone. So we're just gonna go through the whole, like, football training. I guess that's training montage music. So the people that make it through first are going to be Wayne and Bowie. They just kind of barrel through this challenge, especially due to Wayne. And then after that, the people that make it here last are going to be Millie and Priya. The reasoning is Millie actually lied to Priya about exactly how much training she did, because Priya gave her the manual for this one, and Millie was like, oh, I totally read that. No, she did not. She did not read it. So, essentially, they didn't do too well. Priya and Millie got pushed back, and they ended up losing, while the others made it through. Some other ones who were close to being eliminated were the Simps and the Lovebirds. Next we go to Don't Let the Chicken Eats Ya. Now you might be like, what was that name? Well, it's because it takes place in Yucatan, Mexico. Also in Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza? It's one of those things. So the first thing they need to do is make chocolate that can impress the locals. Then they play a Mayan ball game. Then there's a Mayan ruins challenge with traps like a floor where stepping on the wrong thing causes bad things to happen. Teams can rely on clues from other teams due to each tile causing a noise, knowing whether or not, or what is about to happen to them after they step on the tile. And they'll be able to dodge it. Also, if you want to, like, I don't know, in the comments, like, order this or something, by which team goes for, I don't know, you can do that if you want. Or which team comes second, because I am putting the first and last, but if you want to do all that, feel free. I'm not going to stop you. So, yeah. Essentially, the team that gets here first is going to be the explorers Sammy and Jasmine, and then Owen and Jeff come in last. I'm sorry guys, but we really need to get rid of someone, and the team has got to be the one who's got the least amount of things to do. So Owen and Jeff get out here. Don't worry, they'll watch Noah from the sidelines. Next we have La Habana Una Na. Anyway, so it takes place in La Habana, province Cuba, or Havana. It can be La Habana. They're pretty much the same thing in Spanish. V's and B's are pretty much the same thing. So, La Habana, it sounds the same. Let's be real. So first, identify 5 classic Cuban cars for better materials later on the challenge, and for a little bit of help. Negotiate a ride with the taxi driver. They speak fast and use slang. Then a musical challenge where they have to play 3 different music styles with at least one other team. The teams that didn't identify the cars have to sing as well. And the team that didn't identify the cars also gets slightly worse instruments. Then they race to the chill zone at Malecon. So the team that's going to win this one is going to be the Tryhards. And then the team that's going to lose is going to be The Lovebirds. I'm sorry, Mike and Zoe fans, but you're not smart if you think that Mike and Zoe are making it that far in another season. Because let's be real here. They've had enough screen time for like ever. And Mike doesn't really have his personalities anymore if we're going off of the basic like timeline. And that's not exactly a good thing. So he's not gonna have as much personality. Get it? Anyway, I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So, anyway, we move on to It's Not Done Yet, which takes place mostly in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Ocho Rios, I'm not sure. But it's in Jamaica. And yes, I am redoing some things from World Tour, so you'll be seeing some of the same countries in World Tour again. So It's Not Done Yet is spelled that way because you have to climb Dunn's Rivers Falls. Then collect 3 stone carved symbols, then climb back down and restart if one is missing. It is incredibly slippery as well. One teammate must join a reggae drum circle and must correctly recreate the rhythm played by the instructor. The other has to dance a traditional dance in the carnival. Then there is a shared taxi route where the drivers constantly pick up and drop off passengers. Teams have to not miss the correct landmark, and then they have to race to the chill zone overlooking Dunn's Rivers Falls. The team that comes first here is going to be the Just Friends. And the team that comes in last here is going to be Topher and Blaney, the Stars. The reason for this is they actually... Okay, for the reason for Zoe and Mike is they just got there late, I guess. They didn't do too well in the challenge. But for Topher and Blaney, specifically, Topher got slowed down by, like, yelling at Blaney because she had been critiquing him all this time, and eventually he just snapped at her. And then Blaney fell asleep on the taxi ride, and they missed the place, and then they had to run back, and they weren't able to get there before the other teams. Then we have Machu Picchu. I choose you! Or Machu Picchu? Machu Picchu? Machu Picchu. I think it's Machu Picchu. In Peru. First, you hike a steep stone staircase, kind of like an Inca trail. And by the way, if you guys are like very good with like knowing landmarks and geography, feel free to correct me in the comments. Also, tell me how you like the thumbnail. Is the thumbnail okay? Because I feel like I could have done a little bit better, but it was the best I can do for the time that I had. So, first you hike the steep stone staircase, kind of like the Incan Trail. You learn traditional Andean weaving. Accuracy is needed. There's a narrow rope bridge while carrying an Incan relic. Next, you lead a llama. There are hidden facts in each challenge, and people have to match the facts to landmarks. Then you sprint to the Inti Punku, the Sun Gate, which is the chill zone. So for this one, the team that gets there first is going to be the Jocks. And the team that's going to come in last here is going to be the Monsters. However, this is a non-elimination challenge, which saves them another day. Next we go on to Double the Easter, Double the Island. Now this one is going to be an interesting one, because teams are actually going to, and yes, I did include things that you guys would really like, because I know the people who watch my channel, the thing that they like the most is when characters interact who aren't interacting at other times. So, in Double the Easter, Double the Island, we have a thing where teams are switching with each other. Partners are switching anyway. So here's the thing that we're doing. Ezekiel and Dawn are together, while Dakotazoid and B are together. Next we have... By the way, if you're wondering why Scott and Lindsay are put together, it's because the Team Randos was used by putting two people who didn't have a team together. And yeah, essentially that. So Scott is with Lashana and Harold is with Lindsay. That way we get to see some Harold and Lindsay interactions, which I think they kind of weren't exactly good about in past seasons. So Julia and Dave, and then Cody and MK. Cody and MK talk about some nerdy stuff, especially stuff like tech, because Cody is canonically very into tech, and Dave gets kind of like slapped up by Julia, kind of like, get your head in the game, man, stop being in that loser mentality, that sort of thing. Then we have Heather and Gwen, and Duncan and Courtney, with Courtney and Gwen being together and Heather and Duncan being together, and we get some interesting dialogue between Gwen and Courtney, which I think is going to be cute. And then we have Beardo and Amy, as well as Damien and Scary Girl. Amy was with Scary Girl and Beardo is with Damien. Damien's like, please just be my partner for the rest of the competition, please, to Beardo. And Beardo just shakes his head. Meanwhile, Amy and Scary Girl get around and Amy's like, wow, I really could have had worse partners. Then we have Katie and Sadie, and then Jasmine and Sammy. Now, this technically wouldn't really matter very much, but I'm going to say that Sammy and Sadie are going to be together, and they're going to have kind of a follower, like, as they're both, like, the followers in their groups, not as much confidence as the other two, they're going to have kind of, like, a follower talk, while Katie and Jasmine are going to have kind of, like, a, you know, interesting conversation, about being kind of the leader in their friend group. Next we have Jasmine also comments on, like, Katie's, like, tendency to talk behind Sadie's back, which is gonna be interesting. Next we have Axel and Sean, combined with DJ and Z. DJ is going to be with Axel, and she's gonna be kind of, like, stop being such a crybaby, and then Z is going to be with Sean, where he's gonna be like, yo, can you chill? Next we have Jacques and Jose together with Bowie and Wayne. They're going to get kind of along together because, you know, Hockey Bro and then Ice Skaters. Jacques is going to be with Bowie. They talk about their queerness, I guess. And Jose is going to be with Wayne. And they're going to talk about their competitiveness. And Wayne's kind of gonna be like, you know, like, there's competitive, and then there's just being, like, a bad person, you know? And then we're going to have Noah with Eva and Tyler with Emma. Then we're going to have Joe with Alejandro and Brick with Justin. And the team that ends up winning here is going to be Ezekiel and Dawn. They're going to come in first. And then the team that comes in last is going to be Wayne and Jose, surprisingly, which means that it's a double elimination. So here, let me tell you about what happens during the challenge. Is Easter Island Rapa Nui, and it's a double elimination. There's Moai statues with past contestants. Ezekiel sees his own and does not do well mentally for a little bit. Then you have to carry a fake Moai along the path using a cart. In this challenge, 2 teams will be eliminated due to teammates being switched. The 2 people who come in last will cause 4 teams to be eliminated. Then you have to paint traditional Rapa Nui symbols onto a board. They have to tell a story. Then there's a chill zone in front of the Moai at Ahu Tangariki, which means that these two are out. Yep, the Ice Dancers have had their fill of screen time, and we've seen enough of Bowie and Wayne. However, they had enough time to, like, you know, be closer, I guess. Here, let me put all these guys back. Boop, 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 boop. And then we get rid of these. Boop. Okay. Next episode. Hold on, let me just... Need a drink of water here. Which is the cold hard truth. In this one, it takes place in Antarctica, where the contestants have to answer scathing questions about their teammates. They have to answer scathing questions about themselves, but they also have to remember specific things about their teammates. And they have to tell the truth no matter what. Then they have to climb a frozen ridge using gear, and you have to work closely with your teammates, assembling a flagpole afterwards. Then you have to name some Antarctic animals, and then finally, ride snowcats to the safe spot. This is overall just an interaction challenge for the teammates to do and kind of grow as people. In this, I feel like the team that does best here is going to be Amy and Beardo, because Beardo is finally going to talk in this episode and be like, you know, I only joined this team because I felt sorry for you. And I know that you had, like, no other options left. I can feel for you having not really any people to talk to. And I essentially just felt bad for you. And Amy realizes that, you know, she's lucky to have, like, someone who's willing to put up with her bullshit, you know? Which is great. So, the team that does come in last, though, is going to be the Jocks. Overall, I think that Tyler did pretty good with telling the truth. Eva had a little bit of trouble, like, telling the truth, I guess, or admitting things. And overall, I feel like Eva and Tyler, they just did okay. And they came in last place. Okay, so they came in last place, and that's pretty much it. I feel like I will get into exactly what happened with them at the end. Next, we have Hop Rock. In Hop Rock, we go to Cape Town, South Africa, take the mountain cableway, aerial cableway in the cable car, identify 10 landmarks while up there, then you do some rock hopping, hence the name Hop Rock, do a wildlife reserve photo taking thing, and then end up back in Cape Town. So this takes place in South Africa, and the team that comes in first is going to be Katie and Sadie, and the team that comes in last is going to be the Hotties. However, it's a non-elimination challenge. Next, we move on to All Hell Breaks Loose, which takes place in Barcelona, Spain. One teammate must bargain in Spanish with vendors, and then the other one one teammate must bargain in Spanish with vendors and must correctly purchase 5 specific foods. The other teammate must perform the flamenco dance step. Then they have to get to the chill zone. So for All Hell Breaks Loose, the team that wins is the Monsters, and the team that loses is going to be Amy and Beardo. They had their little arc, they had their own little run, and they come in and get booted here, I guess. Well, not really booted, but they lost, so they're out. Sorry guys, you're rooting for friggin' Beardo and Amy. Hey, at least Amy kind of realized that she was kind of bad to her sister. She ends up apologizing to her sister, but her sister does not accept the apology, which fair for her. Next we have My Actual Goat, which takes place in Masai Mara, Kenya. They each have to wear a traditional Masai shuka cloth, track a specific animal and identify the animal tracks, herd goats through a gate, make a Masai beaded bracelet based on colors that were given throughout the challenge, then use a jeep to get to the chill zone. The team that comes in first here is going to be Duncan and Courtney, who have started getting over their differences and started realizing that, you know, maybe we can give it another try, as long as we both respect each other more. And then the team that comes in last is Scary Girl and Damien. I know you guys were rooting for them so much, but you know, they didn't have enough jokes past this, and I'm gonna be real, that's the point where you probably need to get rid of them. Hold on, I think I might be. Sorry, I'm sitting up a little bit. Anyway. Just checking my volume. Okay. Next we have Lindsay's Land, which takes place in Scotland. Because obviously Lindsay's paired with Scott, so it's Lindsay's Land instead of Scott's Land. Anyway, they must wear kilts, they must listen to a bagpipe tune, or jump into a cold loch and swim to shore. They have to find the Loch Ness Monster, they have to try haggis, and then they have to make it to the chill zone. The team that wins here is going to be Scott and Lindsay, and the team that comes in last is going to be DJ and Z. Sadly though, not sadly, it's a non-elimination challenge. We move on to Straight Out Brussels, which takes place in hold on. Okay. This is actually right here. Doesn't take a Guinness to know that. That's Ireland. Sorry about that. You pass around non-alcoholic Guinness and must drink it to get the next clue. Then you shear sheep with a lot of references to we are shearing sheep. And then you must retell an Irish folktale. Then after that, understand an Irish person. Then finally, there's a chill zone in Dublin. The team that comes in first here is going to be Cody and Dave, and the team that comes in last is going to be Courtney and Duncan. Sorry, guys. Courtney and Duncan come in last here. Hey, at least they made it up, you know? Next we have Straight Out Brussels, which takes place in Brussels and Bruges, Belgium. Each player is given 5 types of chocolate to remember the taste of. Then they must bake Belgian waffles. One teammate bikes across the streets, the other teammate designs an outfit for the mannequin pistachio. Then figure out the 5 types of Belgian chocolates by tasting it blindfolded. That was given by tasting them blindfolded, the types of chocolates that were given at the beginning of the episode, essentially. The team that comes in first here is going to be Sean and Axel, and the team that comes in last here is going to be Z and DJ. Next we have Yas Queenstown, which takes place in Queenstown in Fiordland, New Zealand. One teammate carves a Maori symbol. The other teammate jumps off the Kawaro Bridge. Then you navigate a fog in Fiordland National Park. Then you find a kiwi, and finally go to Bob's Peak. So, due to that, the team that comes in first is going to be Sammy and Jasmine, and the team that comes in last is going to be Justin and Alejandro. Well, gang, I've returned. It's only been like probably a second for you, but I need to go do something real quick, so I came back. And I'm ready to restart. Or not restart, but continue with this. Okay, so we made to Yas Queenstown. Oh, there's the music. And Yas Queenstown, I already told you all the stuff that happens. Jasmine and Sammy come first, and Justin and Alejandro come in last. Next, we've got The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Yelling, which takes place in Vienna and the Alps in Austria. We have a Viennese waltz dance. We have a cable car up to the Alps where you have to collect a alpine flower. And we have conduct an orchestra. Then we have Eat Chatorte, which is a chocolate cake, Apfelstrudel, which is apple strudel, and then Wiener Schnitzel. I know that one, Wiener Schnitzel. Then get to the chill zone by the Danube River. So The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Yelling. Obviously, you probably know what that's a reference to. And in this one, the team that comes in first is going to be the villains, and the team that comes in last is going to be the outcasts. Let's be real, they probably weren't going to make it to the end. Sorry, Dawn fans. Next, we made it to double check your sources, which takes place in Czechia, or Czech. So we have the Czech Fairy Tales mini challenges, which takes place in a bunch of different little fairy tale type things, where they have to kind of like act out the fairy tale. Then they use traditional Czech marionettes to perform a scene for a master puppeteer. Then get to the chill zone near the dancing house. The team that comes in first here is going to be Sean and Axel, and the team that comes in last is going to be Noah and Emma. Sorry, guys. Next, we make it to Not Very Green, which takes place in Greenland. They hike around glaciers and spot seals, and then they try to spot the ancient seal of approval. Then do a puzzle of Yalusat, or Ilusat. I know I wrote it down, but Ilusat, Icefjord, and other stuff around it. Then go to the chill zone. The team that comes in first here is going to be Harold and Lashana, and the team that comes in last is Heather and Gwen. Hey, I feel like they've gotten pretty friendly over time. Anyway, next we go to Arabian Sights, which takes place in Riyadh, Edge of the World in Riyadh, and Edge of the World in Saudi Arabia. First, they have to match Arabic calligraphy styles to names and meanings, drive 4x4 vehicles through the dunes toward the Edge of the World cliffs. One teammate learns to apply traditional henna designs on their teammate's arm, like a little tattoo. And then they have to try 4 Saudi spices, then reach the chill zone at a rooftop cafe where they're all able to chill after the challenge, even the people that lost. And the team that won here is going to be Sean and Axel again, and the team that loses here is going to be the Simps. I feel like Dave's going to learn a lot throughout this and kind of grow as a person. Cody's going to be, a little bit of the same, but he's gotta, stand up for himself. Maybe, talk to Sierra about going to therapy. I don't know. Then we've moved on to When in Rome, Panic, which takes place in Italy, where there's a battle in the Colosseum. Then they have to cook fresh pasta, speak 5 ancient Latin phrases, use Vespa scooters to get to the gelato place where they have to each get a flavor, leaving the last team with the gross flavor, and then race to Piazza del Popolo. Or Popolo? Popolo. I think it's just Popolo. And the team that comes in first here is going to be Ezekiel and Dakota Zoid, and the team that comes in last is going to be the tryhards, Brick and Joe. I feel like they've made it pretty far. We've got a lot of Brick and Joe moments, and of course, make sure to stay till the end of the video, in which I will showcase all of the arcs that I have prepared. Next we have Curry Up, We're Gonna Lose, which takes place in India. First, go to the Taj Mahal, then try not to get lost in the streets, get into the Ellora Caves, go across the root bridges of Cherrapunji, where you have to participate in a dance, then go to the Delhi markets and grabs 3 specific items. The team that comes in first here is going to be Katie and Sadie, and the team that comes in last is going to be the Monsters. Dakota, Zoid, and Ezekiel have gone through a lot, but let's face it, they weren't going to make it any farther than this. Then we make it to this land is your land, this land is Thailand. First, bike across the land and eat at every place you can. Then try to avoid his famous sex industry. Try not to question your sexuality when you see the Thailand ladyboys. I did a lot of research, and holy fuck, I need to go outside and go to Thailand because the people there are very hot. I promise, I was just looking at stuff in Thailand, but I just kept on coming across that. Next, hike to the chill zone. The team that comes in first here is going to be Scott and Lindsay, and the team that comes in last is going to be Sean and Axel. Next, we moved on to K-Poppin' and Lock In, where they have to perform in South Korea, which they have to perform dance and lip sync to K-pop, then create a music video. Then they have to do the Running Man missions, do a Squid Game mission. Yeah, you know, Squid Game had to come up, okay? It just had to. And then go to the chill zone in Seoul, or Seoul, S-E-O-U-L, Seoul, or Seoul. We have K-Pop and Locket, which the team that comes in first here is going to be the villains, and the team that comes in last here is going to be Jasmine and Sammy. Sorry, guys. Next, we made it to, right in the Sock, which takes place in Papua New Guinea. There's a canoe challenge in the Milne Bay region. Finish a lot of Sock, which is Sagio and banana dumplings, or Sagio and banana dumplings. Then find a megapode egg. Do the ritual courtship dance of the Bird of Paradise, and then finish up by going to the Sepik River. And the team that comes in first here is going to be Lashana and Harold, and the team that comes in last is going to be Julia and MK. Next, we have put on the maid outfit, which takes place in Japan. One teammate must write Japanese kanji characters, the other team must create the perfect bento box. Then they both have to eat it as quick as they can. Next, they have to do an anime yell. Yeah. Then they have an anime fight to see who gets a 1-minute penalty. Perform the perfect tea ceremony in Kyoto. Go to a maid cafe and put on the cat ears. No, they're not putting on a maid outfit, but they do have to put on cat ears. And then figure out the bullet train system. Then go to Yakushima for the chill zone. The team that comes in first here is Katie and Sadie, and the team that comes in last is Scott and Lindsay. Sorry, guys. And then we have the teams Katie and Sadie and Lashana and Harold, and don't put all your coconuts into one basket, which takes place in Fiji. Outrigger canoe, where they must stay in rhythm, and then they drink kava, weave a coconut leaf basket, and carry water with it to a checkpoint. Then run. Winner's area is on a cliff over the ocean for a nice cinematic ending. So that's all the things right there. But let's get into exactly what the storylines were. So first of all, Lindsay calls Scott Scoot or Spot throughout the whole competition. finally calling him Scott around the end. He is sick of her, but they end up becoming good friends. She beautifies him and gives him encouragement. He also fails to cheat and slow people down because she keeps talking too loud or getting in his way. They end up becoming an unlikely friendship. Scott is confused by her kindness towards him, even though he's always slighting her. She sees it as friendly jabs. She also helps him up after he gets beaten up by all the slapstick jokes that we're gonna do with him. Next, we have Ezekiel and Dakotazoid. Dakota and Ezekiel are good friends. Ezekiel carries them through language challenges while Dakota uses her raw strength. They make friends with others. Ezekiel apologizes to Eva. Dawn tells Ezekiel that after the race, she will find a way to help him. Sean and Axel chase after Zeke a lot as a running gag. Dave is grossed out by Dakotazoid, so Ezekiel spooks him. And Scott and Ezekiel talk about the farm. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Justin and Alejandro, they hate each other. Justin uses his powers to get ahead and is more blunt, while Alejandro has to pick up the scraps. Alejandro eventually accepts that Justin is more attractive than him, like physically, and they decide to model together. Alejandro also lets Heather and Gwen get ahead of them multiple times, which Justin notices and eventually decides that he's not gonna bring it up, because he can respect Alejandro's chivalry. Then we have Katie and Sadie. They make friends with the others and are a powerhouse duo. They have a few moments of tension between them, but Katie apologizes for talking behind Sadie's back, and they decide they'll spend more time without each other to make the times with each other mean so much more. Wayne and Bowie. Both have become closer friends over time, and I don't know, they'll have some goofy interactions with others, especially the ice dancers, Katie and Sadie, and they even try to convince Amy that she is being horrible to her teammate. Beardo and Amy. Amy couldn't find anyone who was willing to go with her after the season aired, Pacateo Island. But Beardo stepped up. Many episodes in, he at last admits to her that it's because he felt sorry for her. Beardo wants to make sure that she isn't shunned like other people did to him due to his selective mutism. Amy apologizes to her sister. Jasmine and Sammy. Sammy is still a bit traumatized by Amy. She doesn't forgive Amy. They both explore together often. Jasmine and Sammy explore together often, but Sammy has to tell Jasmine she doesn't enjoy it as much as Jasmine does, and just wishes every now and then they could go shopping or just hang out and play video games. Jasmine realizes she wasn't exactly the best friend to Sammy. She also corrects everybody who calls her Sammy. Jasmine and Sammy cheer on Axel and Sean throughout the challenges. Brick and Joe, frenemies and rivals, just sort of romantic rivals. They catch feelings for each other. They'll be competing against each other the whole time. Every time they team up, though, they are powerhouses. Jacques and Jose, they act like they are here for the gold. Dominate, sabotage, try everything. Powerhouses. They connect with Wayne on the ice sort of stuff. Noah and Emma. No relationship drama, but Emma sometimes has to use Noah in funny situations, and all of the Noah being light and weak comedy is on full display here. She also slaps him on the shoulder when he's being too mean. Eventually, when she says something that is incredibly mean and cocky, he slaps her on the shoulder as well, friendly. Does a little friendly slap. Next we have Courtney and Duncan. They get back together over time. At first it's completely like they hate each other. Then eventually they realize how much they bring to the table for each other. Courtney gets that she can't fix him, and Duncan realizes that he has to try harder. Things work well over time. Gwen being there is a bit of a problem, but overall Duncan apologizes to her as well. Heather and Gwen. I don't think they need to change other than being sort of friends. Heather can be completely open since she doesn't need to hide her personality. Due to being completely open and honest, she reveals her good side as well without knowing it. Sean and Axel, they dominate challenges. Axel really gets on Sean's butt for not paying enough attention to his girlfriend, and Sean grills Axel for not giving her boyfriend space. Axel admits to actually fixing Ripper, and he's a lot more chill now. Zoe and Mike, nothing really. They're just sweet. Bea and Dawn, all comedy and revealing things about other characters. They end up becoming more liked and people respect them a lot more. They are also mostly for other characters' progression. Harold and Lashana, they work well together. Eventually, she asks him out on the last episode, and he accepts. People just want them to get together already. Harold is desperate to prove he really cares for Lashana, but is also trying to play it chill as possible, and doesn't want to hound her constantly. DJ and Z. DJ is constantly nervous, while Z is just there to have fun. Z gets him to relax. He also gets the anti-Damien pins as Scary Girl is pulling him through the challenges. Z also respects DJ's love for his mom and asks about her, breaking through DJ's awkwardness. Priya and Millie, they have a short time on the show. However, Millie reveals to Priya that she wasn't actually training as much as she said. Priya ends up forgiving her. Damien and Scary Girl, mostly jokes. However, I think Damien realizes he can rely on Scary Girl sometimes in some of the challenges. That's it though. They don't really grow. Relationships after the show are left up to interpretation. Next we have Tyler and Eva. Tyler and Eva get along well. At first she's mean to him, but she realizes they have a lot in common after all. She tries to train him. She also has gone through some anger management courses and planned to be a nicer competitor and learned some nice sportsmanship over the time. Also, she makes sure Tyler calls out when Lindsay forgets his name, which isn't as often now. Cody and Dave. Cody convinces Dave that he was also in the wrong and that he needs to actually fix himself before he has relationships with others. Dave convinces Cody to go to a relationship counselor with Sierra after the show and also get her therapy. Owen and Jeff. Owen is literally just there to support Noah, but doesn't want Noah to know he's in the competition. He wants to make sure everything goes well between Noah and Emma. However, Noah does know about Owen and thinks he's just acting funny. Jeff is there because he was the only one who didn't decline Owen's offer. He's just there to have fun. Topher and Blanley. Blanley is teaching Topher exactly what Dawn is doing wrong and is being extremely rude. Blanley also critiques Topher to a point where he crashes out on her. Julia and MK. The villains are here and they're queer. They're gonna cause about a fourth of the eliminations due to like small things that they do in the challenges. But overall, they're just here to more cement the fact that they kind of like each other. And I think we should, accept that. Anyway, I think that's it. Like I said, everything is down below in the description. And anything you want to do with this video, have fun. Make sure to go outside, compliment someone's hair, and make the world a little bit of a better place. Bye-bye!